I want to tell you a story. I believe we're all in the story-making business. And I've done many things in my life, and people often ask me, what's the greatest thing that you've done and you've achieved? And without doubt, it was definitely being a part of something that happened to my wife. 11 years ago, my wife was given 18 months to live. And I was very fortunate that my dad has always said, son, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And my mum has always said there's an answer to everything. So professionally, I know a lot of people, and I've always found solutions to some big challenges that people have. But perhaps this was the biggest challenge that we ever faced. My wife was rushed to hospital, and it was a very, very uncertain time. But I'm also a massive fan of coaching. So I have a coach, and he lived in Dallas, Texas. He was still alive then. And I called him and I told him what happened. And this is what he said. He said, find people that are still alive with the same brain tumor. And he also said, what is she going to do when she gets better? And I went, well, she's been given 18 months. And he went, so what? People defy the odds all the time. So I did find people that were still alive, and this doctor's name kept coming up, Dr. Stanislav Bysinski. And then I looked a little bit deeper and I saw huge amounts of controversy about him. People saying that he was dangerous, he was a charlatan, don't go anywhere near him. But I was speaking to people that were still alive, and I decided that it was the right thing for us to do. And my wife wanted to do it. She didn't want to die, she wanted to live. And we went through so many obstacles to get to America. And during the time of us trying to get there, we made a video blog every single week. We had thousands of people following us. We were raising awareness of what we were doing. We got some incredible support. But one of the biggest roadblocks was the fact that Dr. Bysinski was being taken to court, Texas Medical Board. And he'd been taken to court before by the FDA. And if he'd been charged or convicted, the chances are they would have taken my wife off the treatment that she was on. So you know what I decided to do? Pick up a camera and film. And I took my camera everywhere I went because I wanted to document this journey. I wanted to show everything that was going on behind the scenes. And even Dr. Hilary Jones, who's a good friend of mine, he spoke on British television about this, about what we were doing. And he was attacked by people who genuinely thought that Dr. Bysinski is an evil person. I can tell you, from someone who has a background in psychology, the guy is a genius, and he needs the recognition that he deserves. Because Hannah, well, is she alive and well today? Well, we'll talk about that in a moment. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And sometimes we need to look outside the box. And on that journey in Houston, Texas, we had the greatest care. It was extremely challenging, many ups, many downs, many difficult moments. But you know what? I wanted to speak to Dr. Bysinski because it was 10 years ago that we were in Houston, Texas, where Hannah was on this treatment. I wanted to catch up with him to see how he was getting on and share some really good news with him. We are fantastic. I've got a special guest.
Hello.
Look who it is.
Hi. How are you? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
How do you survive under severe restriction in UK?
Yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. But it is, yeah, crazy.
It's crazy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, look, let's record this
Yeah.
podcast. Hannah won't be recording it.
Yeah, I won't be sitting on his lap.
Are you in London now?
Just outside of London, near Gatwick. You know, not far from.
I know, yes, sure.
As before we came on, I know you just saw Hannah for a few moments. What is that like for you when you see patients that you've had the opportunity to treat, when you see them still alive, when they were counted out, where they were told many years ago that they weren't going to be here for very long? What is that like for you?
It is very gratifying. And as you know, at this time, most of our patients are really classified as terminal. Many of them went to hospice because there was nothing could be offered to them, and they were seen in some of the best places in the world. So something like about 80% of our patients are classified as terminal, and of course we have to fight very quickly to keep them alive and then have improvement. So the results are much better and better, and we are very pleased to see patients who completely recovered like Hannah. It's
Yeah.
almost 10 years now since she was diagnosed, and certainly this is one of the deadliest cancer types you can have, okay? And she's doing very well. Of course, she's one of many patients who recovered from terrible disease. And I have to compliment her because she was very systematic. She was taking the treatment as long as necessary. And this is very important to have a success, because if the treatment is stopped too soon for a variety of reasons, then unfortunately the cancer is progressing. But if you are doing this as advice, then I think we should have very good results.
We found a way, but it wasn't easy. As you know, any patient that comes to see you, the amount of loops that they have to jump through, it's pretty ridiculous. But for you and everything that you have endured, I don't think I know anybody on this earth that I have ever met that has endured what you have endured, because I believe a few things, and it'd be good to discuss. One of those things is you took the oath as a doctor: first, do no harm, and protect life, where you can. And because of who you are, I think you're just the sort of person that nothing will stop you when you see something. So I'm really curious. This might sound like a really obvious question, but why do you do what you do?
Well, I think because it can save the lives, okay, and it can save the lives of the people who really were diagnosed as terminal, who are supposed to be dead within 1 month, few months, whatever, okay? And we see that we can save at least good percentage of these people, and that's very important. The main question is, I would not feel right if I would abandon this task simply because of stupidity of bureaucrats who are working for big companies and who like to get rid of me for financial reasons. So I felt that this is my mission. I have to do it because certainly that's why I'm here, okay? And certainly the people who were pioneers, who introduced many things, they went through horrible things, okay? If you read the scriptures, you have case after the case of the people who later were named prophets who went through horrible things, and then they persisted. And finally they won, okay? Because if you persist and if you're right, and if you live long enough, I think you have a chance to bring this to humanity. That's my mission, and that's what I work in now. My job is not finished yet. I'm still compiling the most recent data, and I still would like to bring this to the attention of the doctors and people all over. The people should not go through such problems as you had to spend a lot of time to look into various awkward things to find out about the treatment, okay? This will be available to many people because it can save lives, and people who are very advanced, they don't have much time, okay? So this information should be widely available to the people. Of course, there was a cover-up of this information. And at this time, of course, the name of the game is the survival of the people who would like to know more, who would like to get educated. If you get educated, if you see what is around, what is available, and what is the standard fate of such people, then you have good fighting chance. So I think education of the people, bringing good knowledge to the people is extremely important. And that's why your podcast is very important, because it can save lives of many people who did not know about it, and who are told by the doctors, go to hospice, there's nothing we can do for you, okay?
Wow, that was amazing. Dr. Bysinski is really one of the greatest human beings I've ever met. And I believe you me, I have met many. And look, this was a documentary that I made, as Hannah went through. Look, there's Dr. Hilary Jones talking on television about what we were doing. He got vilified for speaking about this. But, Hannah is alive and well today because we looked outside of the box. And I think that's what we all can do. And I really would love to know what you take away from this. What's your biggest takeaway from listening to, when the podcast comes out, listen to it, get educated, get informed. So let's see what Hannah is actually up to if she lets me into her office. No? I'm not paying any attention. Okay.
Hello.
So, hello. How's it going?
It's really good, Pete.
Yeah?
It's really good.
So you're doing some work here. So what was that like, watching that video and seeing Dr. Bysinski?
It was brilliant.
It was brilliant. She's got the giggles, which is good, right? Because that's how we kind of got through. Well, but honestly, what was it?
It was really nice to
Why?
see him because he's just such a sweet man,
Yeah.
and he's just lovely, and he looks younger.
He does
which
look
is
younger.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us what you're kind of up to now. What's all this about?
So these are quilts that I have made. Just got to finish them off, and there's some Christmas stuff.
Christmas?
So if you want to,
January. But you're getting ahead of the
you're
curve.
just getting ahead.
Yeah. So that you found your kind of your thing in life.
Yes, absolutely. I just love doing it and just being creative.
So what do you want to say to all the people that have kind of followed you over the years?
Just thank you, and we are well, and we're just good.
Yeah, we're so thankful.
Just getting on with stuff.
Making stuff. I suppose the person we want to obviously thank the most is Dr. Bysinski, right?
Yeah,
That's
and
why...
all my friends that supported me, through it, and actually people that I didn't know as well.
Who supported you.
Yeah.
And if people want to follow you now, the best place to do that is Instagram. The bespoke quilter. Because you've made some amazing things as well, and you've actually made a lot of things like what you call them memory
quilts,
where people who have passed away have sent you things like their shirts, and you've made quilts from them.
Yeah.
What else?
Football shirt quilt.
Yeah.
For a 18-year-old boy, I think. Yeah, 18. Yeah. So that's good.
That's it. Thank you, Hannah. We probably need to leave you. You've got work to do, right? Have I been kicked out?
Please.
Okay.
Please leave.
Okay. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
Come on. Bye. An amazing story. I really, really want to thank everyone that's been a part of this journey. And we had some amazing support along the way. But I think the most important person is Dr. Bysinski. Please listen to the podcast that I did about him and raise awareness, if you can, about him. Spread the word. But you know what? There's so many challenges in the world right now, and hopefully you get some inspiration from this. And I really, truly believe that laughter is the greatest medicine. That's how we got through some of the most difficult times of our life. See ya. Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday the 19th, Saturday the 19th. It's Hannah, everyone. Oh dear. And now the news.